start to blush when somebody says your name. In my stomach there's a pain. You walk in my direction, I go the other way. I start to stutter when I speak. Trying to stand up, my knees go weak. What's happening to me? In the dark, can you tell me what it means?
If nobody told you as of yet today, I love you. If nobody told you as of yet today, I am proud of you. You gonna continue to achieve anything you set out to do. You understand me? Also, you already know, I do have to give you that brief disclaimer. I only want you to take what resonates, and I want you to leave the rest behind, all right? I don't want you trying to force certain scenarios for you. If you don't get your confirmation through me, I guarantee you won't get it through somebody else, so be patient with your process. Thank you, babies. I'm sending them roses back to you. Also, you already know, my voice too raspy to be whispering. So this about the time that you probably want to go ahead and hit that volume, all right? So before we get started, I want to thank you so much for all your love, like, share, subscribes, kind words, not only to myself, but each other too. I appreciate you. And thank you so much for all your gifts. Thank you, Big. Thank you, Prodigal. Listen, I'm definitely going to acknowledge you on the video as soon as I post it to my YouTube, all right? So I thank you in advance. So let's get started. Chosen ones, we gonna head to talk, babies. All right, because there's certain things that's currently going on in the energy. See, we discussed previously how 2023, that's Judgment Day. See, divine time is not the same as your time. So one day in heaven, in a sense, could be one day on earth. You understand me? So hear me out. See, chosen ones, or 1 year, you get what I'm saying. But let me say this, chosen ones. I want you to realize not only are you going to see certain individuals start to get certain karma and consequences coming in, I want you to realize that you also are getting payment for the work that you previously put into. Now, what do I mean, chosen ones? See, those who are already subscribed to my YouTube, I gave you a brief introduction on today's discussion, right? See, I want you to realize that anybody who crossed you, and I'm not talking about last year, I'm not talking about the year before, I'm not talking about a few months ago, few days ago, few relationships ago, whatever the case may be. I'm talking about the individuals that intentionally planted certain demonic seeds, those individuals who created certain cycles for you. They're currently going through certain karma based upon what they did towards you. You understand me? So it's not stemming from that last relationship, because before that person cheated on you, there was a past person before that who did that shit. Or you could have cheated yourself out in a sense. So I want you to realize in real time, people are starting to get held accountable. Now, what do I mean? See, your mother or father too, they starting to get karma and consequences on how they carried you. See, they may have been the main culprits behind your insecurities, the abandonment issues that you have, certain things that other individuals did too. It stems from where, and a lot of the times it came from the individuals who gave birth to you. Not only that, that first boyfriend or first girlfriend or that first friend that actually did something malicious towards you in a sense, that whoever set that stone, threw that stone, or set that momentum in a sense, they get in karma in real time. And I'm telling you, God is going to make sure that it gets presented to you. That's not for you to look back. That's not for you to wish that upon them, because you are empath. You understand me? So you are about love, light, and abundance. But you also have to realize that God said an eye for an eye, or whatever you do to other individuals going to come back to you, right? So you may have forgot about it. Again, you may have blamed that past lover in your previous relationship, but forgot about that person 3 partnerships ago that did some shady shit. They are going to be held accountable. Certain deaths are going to occur too. Now, again, we don't wish this on these individuals. However, when we was connected to them, we warned them about how God was going to move. See, chosen ones. We already said, see, the reason why they didn't feel certain things that they were doing then, because you still was physically, energetically, mentally catering to them. So as long as you present, that's a protection towards them, right? As long as you are entertaining them, as long as you are speaking love and light into them, they were able to duck and dodge certain karma and consequences that they've been supposed to face. You understand me? So I want you to realize that currently individuals that crossed you, they are being held accountable. Now they looking for signs and synchronicities to see why they're going through what they're going through. And God's going to remind them. How would they know? Because the same thing that they starting to have in is the same thing that God's bringing in towards you. So that individual who finessed you, took money from you, you understand me, stole or tried to, again, pay other people to target you, they funds are limited. Now they can't even pay those practitioners that was sending certain black magic in. They can't even pay off those partners in a sense to stay with their ass. You understand me? They currently are experiencing certain lack. See, we always heard how God said the last will be first and the first will be last. See, they was only first because they try to run quick to grab certain things that God was placing in your hand. So I want you to realize that they may have felt like they were successful in a sense, but they was getting a quick glimpse of what they could have got had they actually put that work in. See, when they get that as quick as it came in, because they ain't do that work to earn that, they knew that they shouldn't receive that payment. That's almost like somebody checking their bank account and all of a sudden it say a couple hundred in it. See, when you last called it, it was like 50 cents in it, right? So instead of you calling a bank to tell them that they made a mistake, that's almost like you keeping it there talking about they should have knew what they did then. Or you sitting there talking about that's your blessing. Whole time that was your test then. See, God wanted to see what was you going to do when you thought you could get away with certain shit. That's why certain people that cross you are currently getting karma and consequences come in. So that time, again, they tried to get rewarded for certain work that they didn't put in. So I want you to realize that in a sense, God is going to make sure that they know exactly why certain karma is coming. And it was you. It wasn't because you tried to send that to them. It's not because you are wishing certain bad things upon them. It's because they tried to do that to a chosen one and they ain't know whose child that you were in a sense. They ain't realize the same thing that they used to do to other individuals. See, they ain't realize who your mother or your father is. That's almost like somebody in the neighborhood steady bullying everybody else. But they don't know you and your household don't play that shit. You understand me? See, they starting to see it. Chosen ones. Now, we gonna talk. Your point of view is changing too. See, I want you to realize that you don't even have the taste that you used to have when you was connected to the individuals that you were connected to. Now, what do I mean? So it's similar. Let me give you an example, right? So you know when you a child and you always asking to eat out, you talking about, can we go to McDonald's, Burger King, whatever the case may be? You kept asking your mother or your father and they said that they ain't had funds for it, right? And you looked at them crazy. Or you sat there and said, man, we can never sit there and eat out. Whole time you getting home cooked meals in your house. But in that moment, based upon your perspective and your point of view, you felt like you was less fortunate than other individuals around you because they was getting certain shit quick. Whole time you ain't even realize that although they ate that meal at 4 o'clock, by 4:30, they was going to be hungry again. See, that was a quick fix in a sense, right? See, now that you are mature, you starting to realize that certain things wasn't what it seemed. So when you was little, you used to look at yourself unprivileged because you couldn't go out to eat. Whole time now that you grown, some of you are looking for a home cooked meal. Some of you can't wait till you had the opportunity to have that and build. You understand me? So I want you to realize that you're starting to view certain things differently. The people that you used to pray to be partners with, the person that you was praying for God to align you with, that person that you was praying to get pregnant by or get pregnant in a sense, that person that you was trying to build a future with, that you had no business with, I want you to realize you starting to view them differently, right? Because your taste is different. Now you starting to realize those quick fix ain't nothing like that home cooked meal, that shit that's gonna stick. See, chosen ones. I want you to realize why it took certain time, right? So I want you to think about this, chosen ones. Again, say you hungry in a sense and your mother or your people telling you, oh, nah, just be patient. The food's going to be ready in a little bit. See, at that point in time, you hungry. You can eat a few snacks or you can handle what you needed to handle until they give you that call to tell you to come in, right? But there's some of you that's like, man, I'm not waiting for that food. So they went from restaurant to restaurant, blowing through certain money, right? They sitting there going restaurant to restaurant, stuffing their face. Then all of a sudden they go home and that shit run right through them, right? They body ain't feeling the same. They feeling a certain type of way. See, you was trying to get a quick hit, a quick fix. Now you feeling like shit. You understand me? Or shit's flowing through you in a sense because you wasn't patient. You could have had that true food that was going to feed you. And once you was fed, you could then come back for seconds, thirds, fourth, whatever the case may be. That food was going to be there, right? So there's certain individuals that sat there and selected other people over you because they felt like they had something to provide them. Whole time, that person that they was with was plotting. In a sense, they was energetically robbing. See, those people that they was with was just that quick fix, but they was going to be hungry again. See, that's exactly why they try to mold those people that they left you for into you. Because again, they sitting there, got a quick fix, try to get it fast, but they was looking for some soul food, which was you. So chosen ones, just know that karma is coming. Those individuals who selected people over you, disrespected you, try to sabotage you, lied about you, try to ruin your reputation because of how people acknowledge you, I want you to realize they getting held accountable. See, I want you to realize that you was getting karma that didn't belong to you because you kept trying to spare that person, save that person when they knew what their actions was going to have come through for them. See, they got pre-warnings way before you even said anything to them. They seen the signs and synchronicities. God told them to stop playing, to pay attention, get on their path, stop allowing people to deter them or distract them. God then gave them the warnings, the same warnings as you. That's why they got so upset when you said the same thing, because they was trying to escape it in a sense. See, there's certain individuals that was riding in the car, because I tell you, God created everything, so he going to use everything in order to show you certain signs and synchronicities. So they was riding in the car. They heard the song. Let them know, hey, that shit hit a little too hard. They turned it off. They done sat there and watched TV, and all of a sudden that commercial came on. That warning in a sense, and they felt a certain type of way, but they turned it off again, or they clicked the channel. Okay, cool. See, they done got signs and synchronicities that they shouldn't be doing what they doing, but they chose not to listen, then God chose to speak through you. See, the same thing that they was running from is the same thing that you introducing them to. That conversation again. So they try to run away from you, thinking that they was going to escape certain karma and consequences too, but I want you to think about this. See, let me give you an example. So you know how when your brakes are starting to go bad, see, shit, I could talk about that because my shit was sounding like Maxwell. I'm talking about when he hit that, whoop, whoop, whoop. Yeah, that shit. I'm trying to tell you. My brakes was like, shorty, we need attention. You heard me? But let me get back to the example, right? I'm trying to tell you, my shit was, I'm like, what? What is that? But let me get back to the example, right? So you know how if your brakes is starting to get bad, again, I can speak for example, but if you not familiar, I'm going to put you familiar with it, right? So you first get a sign on your brakes. All of a sudden, you go to you go to stop and you hear a little squeak, right? And then all of a sudden, what do? You sitting there blaming it on the rain, talking about, oh, rain must have got to it. That's why it's squeaking. Oh, it's wet. That's why my brakes is wet. That's why they're making that noise. Okay, bet. When you know that certain things needed to get checked, right? But you came up with excuses because you like, motherfucker, I just paid. I just put 40 on the tank today. I done got the tires fixed. Now I'm hearing other shit. Oh, nah. So what you do? Turn that music and try to ignore it, right? So at first you came up with an excuse. At that little squeak that you heard, instead of looking into it, see, at that moment, you had the opportunity to go ahead and get them checked. See, it could have been something that they could have had a quick fix and prevented it from getting worse with it, right? But you was like, oh, nah, fuck that. You felt like you wasn't stable enough. Or you felt like, man, I just spent the funds on that. You ain't want to make life decisions in a sense. So you like, nah, I'm going to put that off, right? Shit, I done been there. Let's be real. So what happened? All of a sudden, that goes from that squeak to now you hear something scratching. Because you know if you don't get that brake pad fixed real fast, all of a sudden you're going to hear something, right? So initially, you sat there and heard that squeak. You could have checked it and handled it, but you didn't. So what did you do? You came up with excuses for it, said rain got to it, and then you kept moving, right? Then all of a sudden, now you hearing you understand like that little scrape sound when you brake now. And what do? You still was like, man, fuck it, I ain't worried about it. You turn the music up. See, in that moment, you try to turn the music up so you couldn't hear that stuff because you thinking if you don't think about it, that shit still ain't getting messed up, right? Don't try to play. You like, man, you turn that music up. Your muffler could be motherfucking out there roaring this shit. You understand? Your muffler could be out there being heard everywhere. You understand me? They could hear you around the corner. They could hear you by the street. You hear me? But again, you like, man, I'm turning that shit up. I ain't trying. Fuck that. I done been there. I'm for real. So, like, nah, I don't got time for this. So you feel like you don't hear it, it is what it is. You don't acknowledge it, it don't exist. And that's not true, right? So what do? Now you riding on scrapes. Now, you already know certain shit is getting real, but you like, nah, I ain't ready to deal with it yet. So you turned it up. What happens, chosen ones? All of a sudden, it starts getting that grinding sound. And I ain't talking about the clips. You heard me. I'm talking about that shit is grinding. As soon as you put your foot on that brake, right? Then what happens? You start to feel it physically because you start to feel your car slow down. It ain't able to pick up momentum now because that scraping is going, right? Not only that, you starting to smell that metal too because that's metal to metal based upon you not acknowledging it, right? Not only that, you starting to feel that little shake when you drive. You can't even go at a high speed. Now you got everybody behind you beeping. Now you got everybody around you going around you. Now you sitting there again. Your foot's damn near all the way to the floor and your shit's still slipping and grinding in a sense, right? So I want you to realize, just like that scenario, there's some of you that got signs and synchronicities that certain individuals wasn't for you. You got signs and synchronicities, what was heading towards you, but you sit there and try to look over it. You knew that intuitively, you knew that person was cheating on you. You know that person was creeping on you. You knew that your friend was competing with you. You know your family was having you fumble certain dreams and admirations that could come true, but you again looked over it. You turned something up. See, some of y'all may have actually went to drugs to try to cover that up. See, I want you to think about that, right? No matter what you use, again, in this scenario, that car radio, so that you can't hear that shit, I want you to realize some of you was drinking more, was smoking more, could have been popping certain shit. You tried to, again, use something to distract you from something that you already knew was existing, right? So that's like you trying to substitute actually dealing with that to covering it up in a sense. So that's, again, you coming up with quick fixes instead of actually investing and handling a situation. You understand me? So I want you to realize, as you start to see certain things clearly, some of you are going to realize that you only addicted to certain shit based upon who's around you, because your true tribe is going to keep your vibration so high that you're not going to need nothing. You understand me? Some of you guys realize the only reason why you smoking so much is because when you around that person that you with, you feel that shit. You understand me? Now, again, some of you, it's your family dynamic. Some of it, again, is your job that you in. You sitting there trying to substitute your happiness for a quick come up in a sense. You allow certain things to keep going on until a bigger problem occurred. Now that job that could have been $39.99 turned into something bigger. Now, that time you thought that you ain't had the funds to do it, but you did. You chose not to invest in that and you allowed it to continue to go in a sense. Guess what happened? Now you got a bigger problem. You understand me? So God has showed you signs and synchronicities that certain individuals ain't for you. God has sat there and told you what was headed towards you. God has sat there and tried to have you pay attention to that quick, because he knew that if you continue to put it off, major shit was going to happen in a sense, right? See, that's, again, you going against your intuition, listening to certain people that's trying to manipulate you into a certain position. That's you intuitively. God told you what they intended to do, but you didn't listen to it because people are so busy doubting you. So now you started to allow those projections to have you doubting you too. So you didn't believe what you were seeing because other people around you couldn't see it. Whole time they not equipped to, chosen ones. They wasn't given a gift like you. God don't give his secrets to just anybody else. It got to be like-minded individuals. God's not going to, not everybody can see into the future either. Not everybody has intuition. See, these demons, again, they can't feel shit. That's why they try to get you not to. That's why they try to tell you that F your feelings. Don't worry about that. Why? Because they can't feel nothing. They don't got no superpowers. They currently in lack. So they going to try to get you to not use yours to make them feel better about not having it. I'm trying to tell you. But guess what? It's a shift in energy. So regardless if you wanted to handle that or not, you're going to be forced to. Regardless if you wanted to let those people go or not, God's going to force that to happen. So you can try to hold on, and guess what he's going to have happen? Them let go of you. See, you got presented with an opportunity. God said you can let go of this crack shit, and when I say crack shit, I want you to think about your phone in a sense, right? In order to, if you got insurance, in order to get that new phone, you got to let that old phone go. You got to return it, right? See, some of you are trying to finesse in a sense. You still trying to hold on to that old shit, but you expecting some new things to come in. How that work, baby? How that work? It sound like you trying to finesse, baby. Sound like you trying to scam. You can't scam the person who created you, baby. Huh? What you mean? Huh? Oh, why? So in order for you to be able, now you done miss certain calls, or you ain't getting certain texts at all. You ain't got no signal. You can't see shit. It's a black screen. If you can see something, you're not seeing certain things clearly. Does that sound familiar? Because when you are connected to certain karmics, or you allowing, you ain't raised your frequency, so what they send to you actually can have an impact on you. Because again, if you in your divine purpose, if you in your path, no matter what they send to you, that shit's going right back. You never will be in lack. You understand me? But when you match your energy, oh, you're going to match that karma and consequences too, so you're going to have to choose. You heard me. Some of you talking about how, oh, money was limited. But as soon as you stop talking to so-and-so, even if it's for a day or a week or so, you got money flowing again. God's trying to show you, they limited, not you. That's almost like, again, you being privileged or living in a suburb, a nice neighborhood, but you out here trying to act like you on some hood shit. That's some backwards thinking. Because the people in the hood are trying to get to where you at, but you so busy trying to put on a facade so that you comfortable being in lack. Get your ass up out of there. Huh? I'm trying to tell you. You don't match energy, you maintain yours. Because if you match energy, you're going to match that karma that heading towards them. So cut that shit out. But you're going to have to choose. See, some of you are talking about you unfavored. Some of you are acting like you unlucky. Some of you are acting like you cursed. And that's not you speaking that upon you. See, when people say curse words, they not talking about cussing. The untrained mind will think that's what that discussion is about. Nah, curse words is what you speak into existence. So you saying that you ain't gonna be shit. You saying you unable to achieve it. You sitting there doubting you. You not giving compliments to you. You not saying positive affirmations. That's that boundary that you setting for other people who look at you to adhere to. See, before they get to know you, they notice you. So how you carrying you? You can't carry yourself crazy. That's like you talking about your hair. Then all of a sudden somebody's comfortable and they say the same thing. Now your face is all screwed up and you ready to fight them. Why? You done said the same shit. So they divinely aligning with what you was doing. Cut it out. You understand me? Now, chosen ones, we gonna talk, right? Again, karma and consequences is coming in, but we gonna step into a different direction too. Because just as you see these people starting to get held accountable for what they did to you, just know that as soon as certain things stop for them, that means it's picking up for you. Don't pause your progression. Just know that, again, you don't look back to see if they got karma and consequences coming in. See, you know God, and you know God don't play. What he say is what he says. What he says is going to come in. So if he told you anybody that tried you is going to be going through certain trials, that all you had to do was call judgment on them. See, when I say call judgment, I ain't talking about judging. What I mean is, when I say call judgment, God has you go through what you go through until you can identify that you shouldn't be making those moves or that those people ain't your people. So when they say God protects babies and fools, you no longer a fool when God intuitively relayed that message to you. When God shown certain signs and synchronicities to you, no longer protected. If you continue to do those things, that means that you understand me? You basically allowed yourself to do it and go through it. You basically sat there and accepted it. That's what you calling in. That's something that you complacent in. Okay, well, you going to feel that sting then, right? But there's some of you that have good intentions. But you keep saving individuals. Thank y'all. I appreciate you, babies. I want you to realize that you also get karma for trying to spare somebody who keeps doing certain shit. So that's almost like this. You know, like a mother. We're going to give a few examples of this, right? So you know how a mother can have a child that just gets into certain shit. This motherfucker been in and out of boot camps or you want to say criminal records, always destroying it. But they don't hold their child accountable. They always talking about what so-and-so did to have them react like that, or no, so-and-so did it instead. See, they never take accountability, right? They always coming up with excuses for it. See, I want you to realize that that's almost like somebody's child being on a run and they go to stay with them. Oh, that mother's getting booked because you didn't sat there and housed the fugitive in a sense, right? You trying to hide them from getting certain karma and consequences. See, chosen ones, the same applies pertaining to you. You sitting there trying to spare these individuals that's out here not doing good by people. So just because they ain't doing you crazy, if they acting crazy to other people, just because they ain't steal from you yet, and they stealing from somebody else and you talking about you ain't got nothing to do with it, oh baby, you getting held accountable too. Because you should have spoke up in a sense, or you should have separated yourself from that individual. See, people think that RICO cases only happen in real life as far as the 3D. Nah, you get RICO cases spiritually as well. That means if you around people that's out here corrupt, demonic entities that are raising hell, you can't say that you ain't had nothing to do with it, because these are the people that your ass shouldn't even been around. These ain't your people. So birds of a feather, how they say, flock together, is true. And you can say you don't do the same thing that they do, but you condoning that bad behavior because you allowing these people around you. So you get in that RICO case. How Training Day say, how Shorty say, hey, I'm putting cases on all you mother. Yeah, everybody going down. I want you to realize that. But again, we're going to get back to this. You got to call judgment on it. What does that mean? Anybody who physically abused you, spiritually attacked you, lied on you, deceived you, manipulated you, used you, abused you, stole from you, all of that thing, you got to call judgment on them. You think that that's hurting them because you're going to see certain karma and consequences coming in. However, at the same time, they got to be held accountable for what they did. But at the same time, based upon what they do, there's a possibility that you can save this individual from getting worse or deeper in the hole. You understand me? Based upon their actions. Now, what do I mean? See, when I say call judgment, what does the judge do? Or when they call judgment, you almost like that person that was presenting the case. Like, hey, yo, so-and-so was stealing, so-and-so was lying, so-and-so was denying, so-and-so was manipulating, so-and-so was sending magic, all of this stuff, right? You sit there and present the case. You know everything. You done sat there and did your research. That's you going intuitively to God. You listening to what he's telling you. You know that you're lying. You sitting there again, getting shown the signs and synchronicities. You paying attention, and God's going to have the physical show up as that witness, right? So sometimes it requires you to speak up in order for certain things to start to get investigated, right? And then all of a sudden what happens? After due time, now they got proof on that person, and guess what? Then the judge gonna lay that gavel down. So you present the case. That's you calling judgment. I call judgment on anybody sending black magic to me and my soul tribe. I call judgment on anybody sending black magic to you, anybody stealing the loot, whatever the case may be, anybody who has as far as ill intentions towards you, you call judgment, right? So that's presenting the case to God. God just wants to see, oh, you was paying attention or not, right? Oh, okay, so you noticed that what so-and-so was doing, right? I'm proud of you. Oh, you knew so-and-so was lying on you intuitively. I'm proud of you. God wanted to see, right? And then all of a sudden, what happens? He lays that gavel down. Karmic consequences come in. Some of them are actually going to have a lifetime of bitterness. Some of them is going to have a lifetime of struggling. Some of them are going to have lifetimes in lifetimes where they're going to have to work so hard to get ahead. And again, they're going to be held accountable based upon who they connected to too. So you can say you ain't do the work, but your crew did, and you continue to roll with them. So you going to have to face that case. You can sit there and point fingers now. You can try to plead out, but you still going to have some time that you're going to have to do, right? So I want you to realize, chosen ones, at times it calls you to call judgment. But again, in a sense, you calling judgment on them could be helping them or helping people that they attacking. So either way, you helping. You understand me? So let's talk. That's almost like, again, you keep telling that person, hey, yo, don't go over there. It's hot. Don't touch it. It's hot. You try to steer them from that spot. You try to save them right before they grab it. You pull them back. That's you trying to spur people, or you trying to tell them, hey, yo, listen, I told you to stop sending that shit towards me. My ancestors don't play about me. It's like, as soon as I tell on you, It's going to be a problem. See, you kept giving them warnings. See, they don't know Baby D like you do. You heard me? How they say you don't know Baby D. That's why you looking at me like that. Because you don't know God like I do. You don't know that. All I got to say is the word and God's going to come through. All I got to do is energetically, mentally, and physically disconnect to you and you going to feel that blow, baby. You heard me? Ain't nothing that they could try to get that's going to slow God down. Based upon that rap, they going to catch it, right? So what I'm trying to tell you, chosen one, you kept trying to direct them. Hey, yo, chill out. Hey, yo, I'm a good person. Don't do that. Hey, yo, listen, you need to heal. Don't do that. You kept giving them warnings. But you also was condoning that bad behavior because they flipping, they kicking, they doing all this shit around this situation that can get real ugly quick, right? But you didn't allow them to feel that flame. You ain't even feel that heat a little bit, right? So guys like, hey, yo, stop telling them. Stop pulling them back. You got work to do, but you allowing these people to distract you, so your ass is going to be in lack. They pausing your progression. Oh, nah, get from them. They going to learn their lesson. See, although you don't want to see them get burnt, sometimes that's in order for their ass to learn. They're going to have to feel that. So that's how certain people get booked. Some people hard-headed. They're going to keep feeling that shit. They're going to keep getting burned and do the same thing over and over again. But that's how you know, something ain't right with that head. You ain't learned nothing. They don't got no soul within them. Because you know a chosen one is somebody who has a soul. You know the difference between somebody who's soulless. See, somebody who has a soul, the chosen ones, you done learn from past experiences. Certain lessons that you learned in your past lifetime too, you done carry that over. That done rolled over to this lifetime too. There's certain things that you feel that didn't get revealed yet because you know exactly. I'm trying to tell you, you running into the same souls but a different body. The same way that you in a different body, but your eyes is the same. So that's how you know. Your eyes follow you every lifetime. You understand me? That's your portal. So your eyes may have been in the Caucasian in a past lifetime, and you could have been racist. So now the same race that you was against, you done sat there and got reincarnated into that body now. But it's the same eyes. You can tell, right? So I want you to realize there's certain things that you pick up on that, again, then carried over. So that karmic that you with now is the same person that did certain things in your past lifetime. See, some of you had earlier endings because that person has sat there and took you out. See, you done already been there, done that. So now this lifetime, it's a different route. See, they may have got away with that before, but they ain't going to get away with that no more. I'm trying to tell you, you kept elevating. Every lifetime it carries over. So for certain people try to take themselves out quick thinking that they escaping certain shit, you not. You just getting teleported back into it. That's why it's like, you got to learn your lessons. If you get rid of that karmic now, you got to think about your future self. They going to be happy that they ain't got to be hurt. They going to be happy that they ain't got to be used or abused in order to learn the lessons that they needed to learn. You going to be proud of yourself. So I want you to think about, the right now, but how the right now applies to when you come back. Because certain people talking about, oh, nah, when I get that you think you get that selection if you ain't even healed? If you ain't even do your work? Oh, nah, you got things to learn then. You coming back. See, chosen ones, we chose to play in this position. We chose to come back to help people and assist them. We done already broke the cycle and we try to help you break it too. But sometimes, again, we forget who we are based upon the individuals that we connected to. See, there's certain things that you forgot about yourself that you starting to remember again. Certain hobbies that you had, certain talents that you had, whatever the case may be, you starting to remember those things now, right? You starting to see certain things clearly. See, your vision was diluted based upon the fact that screen was cracked in a sense. You seen a little bit, but you ain't see everything based upon who you was connected with, right? So, chosen ones, what you do now is going to carry over to this next lifetime too. So therefore, again, you better make sure that you're not going through what you're going through or letting that shit be in vain. Nah, you learn from that pain. You started to be able to create sunshine on a rainy day. Shit, I'm telling you, rainy days is my favorite. How they say it's all about perspective. See, you can be upset because it keeps raining, but to those farmers whose crops ain't get watered, they celebrate and see it's all about perspective. You got to have that sunshine within you so that no matter what the circumstances is, nobody can take that light from you. See, some of y'all been dimming y'all's light a little bit. And I gave this example previously, right? See, chosen ones, when I say dim your light, it's almost like, a bulb blow in your house. So it could be your living room light. and you don't feel like going out to the store, so you take one from another spot that you feel like you don't typically use. So you done sat there and took your outside light and put it in the inside, and now your outside is dark too. See, chosen ones, I want you to realize that some individuals try to impersonate you. They try to be you, right? Whole time they could have created their own light, try to steal yours instead. See, again, they try to take your light and substitute it, and there's some darkness still that they still gotta face, right? So, chosen ones, nah, you keep your light and you shine that shit bright. Yes, it's gonna make these demons uncomfortable, but that's what you're supposed to do. Yes, you speaking your truth is gonna ruffle the feathers of these so-so ass individuals. That's what you're supposed to do. See, you even speaking on it allows people to see certain things differently. See, you see through on a soul level and not based upon what those people are showing you. See, that's why they salty. Because they did dressed up. That's almost like somebody spending hours in a chair, getting dressed up, getting all, you understand, putting a disguise on, and somebody still like, hey, yo, ain't you so-and-so? How they say, that's Charles Barkley on some Space Jam shit. But for real, somebody, you have to realize these people that you worked all their life to put on a facade, act like they confident when they insecure inside, act like they such an alpha male or alpha female, whole time they not. They are softy inside, but they feel like that's how they gonna protect them based upon the people that they around. You ain't gonna have to act all hard if you get away from those motherfuckers who's targeting you. You ain't gotta say, oh, nah, I don't talk to people or tell them my feelings based upon how those past people carried you. But you gotta dismiss those type of people from around you. You're not gonna hold certain things in, because when you speak them, you release them. So, but instead of doing that, you out here keeping certain things suppressed because you around too many demons. Nah, that sounds backwards, chosen ones. Why? That's almost like you being around certain individuals who got some pit bulls. You understand me? Some shit that, no disrespect, that can turn on you in a second. You understand me? But you out here walking on eggshells, you barely breathing, you barely living, you barely moving, because you so scared that that's going to have them react a certain type of way, and you going to feel like you losing. Now you losing while you with them. You realizing that you need to cut your losses by cutting their asses off in a sense. You out here prolonging your misery. You understand me? See, chosen ones, we're going to talk about this too. See, again, if you are subscribed to my YouTube, we already talked about this, right? You have currently certain people that's trying to impersonate you. See, I ain't just talking about those fake pages shit. I done told y'all about them. Y'all done seen. You understand me? Some of y'all got that issue too. People impersonating you. But I'm talking about family, friends, and certain karmic energies too. Trying to do it like you. See, they talk shit about you. Talk about, nah, you don't really want that. You don't really need that. That ain't really for you. And then all of a sudden, when you sit there and deny it or decline it, all of a sudden you turn around and that's what that individual's doing. So they done persuaded you that that's not the path that you should do. That's not the person that you should pursue. Then you find out that they in that person's inbox trying to talk to them. Or they told you, nah, you can't get no funds with that. Then all of a sudden when you stuck to that path and abundance start coming in, now all of a sudden they trying to ask you how you did what you did, huh? You were the same individual that told me I shouldn't do it. Now you see certain momentum happening, and now we moving. Now you want to try to jump onto it. See, some people don't jump on a movement until it's moving, and by then their ass is going to get left. You heard me? So, chosen ones, there's certain people that's impersonating you that, again, are going to, now listen, there's certain partners that you were connected to that they failed to step up in their light. That made them uncomfortable. So what did they do? Instead, they tried to create a duplicate of you. They just sat there and entertained another individual and tried to mold them into you. Oh, yeah, I think you should dress like this. Whole time, that's how you dress. Oh, maybe you should start this job like that. Whole time, that's what your path is. Oh, yeah, maybe you should do your hair like this. Next thing you know, they look like a knockoff version of you, almost like that Louis Vuitton bag. See, yeah, that shit look familiar, but it ain't got no cards on that. That's almost like them trying to have that person be you, but that soul ain't the same, baby. They gonna fuck around and blow a fuse trying to be you. You not equipped to carry this energy that we contain. What is you talking about? Huh? Now that person's unhappy because they can't make that person happy because that person really wants you, but they can't get you, or they got that arrogance or ego that doesn't have them come apologize to you. See, they could have had the real thing, but they got that knockoff instead. See, that knockoff better knock it off. You understand me? Because God's telling them it's off with their head. See, they are failing at being you. So that's why I say you only in competition with you, because even the people that's trying to compete with you, they trying to be you, so you still competing against yourself. How that sound? You are the competition. But again, we going to get back to these karmic feminines and masculines. There's certain individuals, chosen ones, that try to be you. But again, you can get a recipe to these people and they still not going to be able to do what you do. So what do I mean? I want you to think, and again, I gave this example, right? So you know how on Martin, how you say my mama biscuits, right? How you wanted Gina to make them, right? See, Gina needed that recipe. Or, again, see, starches used to have me in the head like I told you that, right? I love bread. I'm telling you, right? So that's almost like you going to Red Lobster too. You trying to sit there and, again, recreate those biscuits in a sense. So you look up the recipe and you make them, but it don't taste the same. You like, something is different about these, right? See, that's almost like people seeing certain things always working out for you. See, in that time, that was just something regular that you do. So this is your path. This is your purpose. These are things that naturally you are good at. These are things that are embedded in you. You just naturally are good at this, right? So you got three options, chosen ones. People who watch you, you can either, they'll ask you, again, the recipe. So that's almost like, okay, well, they watching you. They try to ask you what the recipe is. See, you could, one, be the type that don't give them. So I seen a mosquito now. You'll know. I love nature. But these bugs, it's a no-go. But that's almost like somebody, again, asking you what's your recipe in a sense. See, you could tell them all the ingredients, but leave one out. That's that sabotage shit, right? See, because instead of sabotaging them by leaving something out, and that's karmic consequences that come in, you could have took a different route. You could have just told them like, oh, nah, I ain't telling you Nathan. Like, you're going to have to figure it out. This is something that means something to me. I hold very tight and dearly. I'm serious about this, so no offense. But you're going to have to do your research pertaining to it. Yeah, they're going to cuss you out. Yeah, they're going to sit there and say, oh, you selfish. But it is what it is. You was upfront with them. Or again, you could have sat there. If you choose to be the type, like, I'll give you all the ingredients, but you leave out that one man component, you get karmic consequences, because you ain't even had to tell them Nathan. You could have just told them, nah, you ain't want to do it. So that's matching energy. Karmic consequences. You going to get it, right? Or that third option. Oh, you can give them the recipe. Now, some of you be like, shit. I understand, but hear me out. You out here, right? See, I seen somebody say, does any recipe give out the secret sauce? Well, shit, we know Krusty Krab don't. But there's certain places that will tell you, like, again, let's think about this. Pertaining to your family or granny or whatever the case may be. They could be like, oh, yeah. You want to know how to do it? I could tell you, because that's something that they are confident. They know that you're not going to be able to do it like them. They know that you ain't going to be able to make that potato salad like them. They know that you understand me? That whatever the case may be ain't going to be like they do. But they like, hey, yo, I'll tell you this because I see that you trying to, so they embracing you, right? So you had the option to be like this. Okay, well, yeah, I'll give you the recipe. They still ain't going to be able to duplicate that shit. I want you to think, Granny done told you exactly the recipe, but when you eat it, you like, damn, it just don't taste like this. Like something's different. That time. What do I mean? Divine timing is everything. The main thing that you want to hear is the key element. You understand me? So I want you to think, right? You talking about Granny's turkey is just right. See, you did exactly what it said to do, but you ain't pay attention to the divine timing. Either you try to rush that plate, so when they cut into that shit looks like it's still alive, bleeding and shit all up on the side, or you done sat there and left that shit in for too long. Now that shit is all dry. Or again, you could have sat there and paid attention to the signs and synchronicities. You could have been carefully watching it. Like, okay, well, I'm going to come back. And when you see that tab pop up in a sense, that's how you knew that it was done. Or you seen how it was sizzling or the color to it. So you took a second look into it, right? Granny's timing was different. See, that's the difference. You could give them the key elements, the recipe, and they still not going to be able to duplicate it because your time is different than their time, chosen ones. So when you added that butter in, it was the right time. See, you could have did it in the middle of it, and they could have did it in the beginning or waited to the end. Y'all used the same ingredients, but that timing was off in a sense, so they didn't have the same outcome. There's certain individuals that try to rush the process. Again, they like, yo, so-and-so make potato salad. So they try to rush that shit. You told them the ingredients. They try to act like they knew. You try to give them certain pointers, but they sat there and disregarded you. So all of a sudden, when they try to rush into it, people eating their food and they putting their face up because that potatoes is still raw because you barely even let that shit in there. The bullshit chosen ones. Divine timing. You try and rush it. You rushing ain't gonna come out right. You stay in that relationship too long, that shit's gonna come out dry. See, you gonna have to figure it out. Divine timing. Go with God's flow. Pay attention to signs and synchronicities. Know that God's in control. See, God is giving you the key. That's almost like that answer. You understand that answer sheet for a test, and you done already got all the answers on it, but you're going to have to know based upon the fact that it may not be phrased the same way that the other teacher had asked. You got to do some research. Pay attention to it. It's all about divine timing. You don't rush that shit. You understand me? You ready for love? Okay, cool. But I want you to think about Thanksgiving because it's coming close, about that food, right? So think about this now. If you don't call it Thanksgiving, you don't call it Thanksgiving. I'm going to be honest. I don't acknowledge the holidays for their names. Me and my squad, we come up for a different name than them. That's Family Day. You heard me? Like, I just take advantage of and embrace the time that we get as far as being off in a sense. But at the same time, don't put too much in the title. But y'all heard me, right? So, chosen ones, I want you to think about Thanksgiving. They talking about the food's ready at 3. You get there at 2:59. Now it's 3 o'clock and you walk in and certain shit is still cooking and you realizing certain things ain't done. See, you sitting there hungry. You done went all day, you ain't eat because you thought you was going to walk into a plate, but that food's not prepared yet. See, now you got an attitude. Now you talking about, yo, so-and-so told me it was going to be done after this. So-and-so said this, I ain't eat shit all day. You mad. See, you had 2 options when it came to that. Excuse me, because again, my allergies and that cold season, but chosen one, you had a few options. See, you could have came in there huffing and puffing because your stomach's touching your bike. You heard me, Floridians, you already know they bike, not no back when you hungry. It's that bike. So you sitting there, you could have been salty. Like, man, they ain't never sit there and had that. They never sit there and had, you understand? They done told me, I done waited all day. That's like you, God telling you love's coming your way, prosperity's coming your way. But now that you finally ready, you done waited your whole lifetime for this. So that's like you waiting all day because I told you divine timing is different than our timing, right? So you done waited your whole lifetime for this moment. How they say? Now you out here waiting. They said love, abundance, all these things. Now you hungry for it. Now you waiting and you like, man, what the fuck? Hey, yo, what's up with that? Granny still fucking cooking? Like, you upset. But you look around and you ain't bring nothing to the table. The same thing that you waiting on, you could have brought through that door and that would have been ready then. So you going to complain because that person is doing everything. See, that's equivalent to you talking about sitting there talking shit. Because some of y'all got a slick mouth to God to see I don't play that shit. You heard me? I might cuss your ass out, but when you talking about God, who you talking to like that? Huh? Who you talk? I'll be that TT in the sense that you talk to your mother, father. Hey, yo, stop playing with me. Now, I do not hit. I don't even hit my kids. You understand? I just got to give them that look and they come correct with it. But I'm just saying, some of y'all had some TTs. They're like, hey, yo, who you talk? Come here real quick. Because that's all I got to do. Come here. Look at me real quick. Hey, yo, go do what I asked you, what they asked you to do. Go do what I asked you to do. I don't believe in putting hands on your kids. If you got to do that, then you're going to have to sit down and talk to them about it. I'm honest. You hear me? But what you do is what you do. But that's almost like this chosen minds. You out here complaining because you saying that God didn't present your prayers yet, but you ain't even meet him halfway with no shit. You ain't even said, okay, he didn't cook the greens, beans, tomatoes, and all that. But you ain't bring nothing, and you upset because you still waiting. How that sound? There's some of you talking about you want love, but talking about you going to stay in that house. How the fuck that going to happen? You talking about you want a certain type of job, but you ain't even apply. So now God has to divinely change everything around based upon the fact that you ain't bring nothing in. So now you complaining because that person didn't arrive yet, but you ain't even get out the house in a sense. You ain't travel. You talking about you don't want love, fuck love, all these things, but you truly do. So the prayers that you want are trying to get presented to you, but you not there to obtain them. You not even meeting them halfway in a sense. So God got to rearrange everything in order for you to get anything, and you still complaining when you not even doing shit. I'm not playing with you. Now there's some of you that's out here doing everything and nobody's bringing nothing to the table. Then what you gonna have to do? Start sitting their ass outside? No, you're not coming no more unless you brought something. Oh, you think that you about to take a plate to go when you ain't bring nothing here? Oh, nah, you not. Oh, what you think that you about to get this? Oh, you got Coca-Cola taste, but you got cola pockets? Oh, nah. Oh, you got a Range Rover taste, but you barely got money for that Honda's tank? Oh, nah. Oh, nah. So you got to realize if you feel like you doing everything and you exhausted, you are held accountable too. Because why the F are you allowing these people to use you when your body is telling you that it doesn't want you to do it? Why are you allowing that person to lie to you when you feel a certain type of way about it? Why are you allowing that person to, you done cooked, you done cleaned, took care of your kids, and you still out here having sex with that person who ain't doing nothing? You out here, that one person, how that movie, when he say, I'm here to pick up my kid, and he literally picks his ass up and puts him back down again. You giving people all this credit for the bare minimum. You talking about, oh yeah, they bought me this. Shorty, it's about damn time. It's been years and years and seasons of you not getting shit. You talking about how they bought you that gift on the what? The first birthday when y'all first met? You still allowing that PTO time to run off in a sense and they ain't put no work in? That's almost like, again, y'all trying to stay in relationships when you ain't got rewarded or paid at any point. And I ain't talking about that profit. I'm talking about energetically, love, acknowledgement, respect, all of that. You ain't got no payment yet. That's almost like you're not going to work for a boss and be like, hey, yo, I got you next check. Next check come, I got you next check. Next check come, I got you. You're not going to stay working there. You're going to be like, hey, yo, listen. Get somebody else to do it. I'm not playing games with you. But there's people that may have worked overtime one time, and they still feel like that PTO time is going to continue to drag on. Then all of a sudden, when that check come and that shit is empty, now they feeling a certain type of way. Oh, you thought you was going to continue to get payment for certain things that you ain't do. Nope. It's not happening. So that same pertains to you. That person not putting no work in, you doing everything. You putting that time in, now they going to be upset because they comparing their check to yours. They see abundance coming to you, love coming to you, acknowledgement coming to you, all of these things, right? And they had the same ability to work like you, but they kept calling out. That's them kept going to those karmics, kept allowing people to push them off, allowing people to tell them what they couldn't do. They allowed other people to get in their head in a sense. So what happened? They don't get no rewards like you do. You put in real time. Those years that you didn't get acknowledged. You didn't have clothes. You couldn't buy shit. You barely was able to pay bills. You always had your kids. You wasn't able to cough, sneeze, piss without somebody walking. You understand me? You put in that work, chosen one, so you getting paid, and now everybody else is going to feel a certain type of way. They going to be asking, can they put their blessings on layaway? Oh, nah, we don't do that no more. Huh? We not playing. So, chosen ones, I want you to realize again, do not allow individuals that is not putting any type of work in, mentally manipulate you to give to these individuals when they had the opportunity to put certain work into. There's certain people, because you know them for a certain amount of time. Oh, I done been with you throughout the struggles, and they the main reason why you struggling. Cut that shit out. I want you to realize that, again, protect your energy too. What do I mean? Because there's certain people mad because they currently going through it. Now you feeling mad when you really should be happy because everything's aligning for you. It's about your perspective. You understand me? So all those karmics are getting their karma. But again, no matter what, God is going to show you who truly put that work in. See, when you sat there and said, God, I want you to expose who's not for me, and you started to see certain things clearly, that was your blessing. I want you to realize when you said, God, anybody who did this, I return that back to them. Because you ain't want it. How they say, I don't want it. I don't want it. You ain't want it, right? They sent negative. You ain't catching that. You let that shit fall in a sense and it went back right back. That's like that boomerang effect. They threw certain shit, didn't realize it was going to come down. See, when they threw certain shit to you, chosen ones, see, they didn't see you knock down big shit. When I say big things, I'm talking about this practitioner try to play with you, energetically, you destroy that individual. They done, went out of business. You may not even see their ass no more. When that person paid that practitioner, you knock their ass down. When this person try to lie on you, you knock that ass down. When they try to send certain shit to you like Goliath, you knock that shit down. See, you had that faith the size of a mustard seed, but you had God pulling back that string, so therefore you had some force behind you. You was knocking down everything. See, they thought that they was doing that shit too. They really believed that they was you. They was so used to impersonating you to the point, again, somebody could have said your name and they may have said present. They could have said, hey, yo, a touch of Badu. Everybody looking around. Like, bitch, that's not you. They could have said, Ashley. They looking around. Brittany. They looking around. That's not them. They didn't got caught up in the hype, but they really believed that they was you in a sense, right? So, again, they start sending certain shit to you. Lies, manipulation, gang stalking you, getting a group of people to attack you, saying certain shit under your post, sitting there doing the most, right? They thought that everything that they was sending to you was actually impacting you, right? It didn't. What was happening? They didn't realize that God was holding on to it in a sense. So when they threw that shit up, God sat there and put his hand out. It was in his hands then, right? He waited. What else they gonna do? Oh, they done said black magic. Okay. Oh, they done stole. Okay. How they say, how low can you go? Can you go down low? All the way to the what? Oh, they done went low, right? Okay, cool. Lies, manipulation, abuse, black magic, sex magic, chaos magic, try to keep your money from coming through, impersonated you, did all of these things. Whole time, they ain't realized God caught those things in his hand. They threw it up there. Okay, cool. God caught it in his hand. What else you gonna do? Oh, you doing that? Okay. See, at that time, you may have thought what they were sending to you was true. See, God made you assume that what they were sending you had impact on you, not even realizing it was him. He intentionally wanted to see if they was going to keep sending certain shit in. So he had you post that post talking about you was going through certain shit. They over there celebrating, doing more. Whole time, they didn't even realize what was happening. You sat there and thought that magic had made your car mess up. Whole time, God sat there and had that happen because the person that you was out there driving with, the person that you was allowing to ride in a sense, never even put nothing towards your tank. They was riding for free. Or, again, you was doing the most, so God wanted you to see, when your car fucked up, who took you around? They didn't, right? They talking about they ain't have it. When they roll with you, they ain't put nothing towards your tank. Now that you riding with them, now they got their hand out in a sense. God just wanted you to see certain things clearly, right? See, at that time, you thought that what they were sending was having an impact on your life, but God already had his hands on it, right? He just wanted to see what you was going to see, what you was going to do. You sat there and took that as they was successfully going against you, and that was God looking out for you. That's the difference, right? So, in due time, God had his hands full with them, and what did he do? They got comfortable. They over there celebrating, parlaying. They done got a new job, got promoted. They done sat there and got this. They done got that. They thought that they cool and escaped it. What God gonna do? Turn that hand over. And all that shit that they were sending to you is now what they receiving. That's why they running around crazy, because they trying to escape it. Oh, nah. They don't know how it's going to come. They sitting there thinking it's going to come this way. Whole time it's coming from a different direction. Why? Because God had his hand on them the whole time he released it. Now they fear him. Now they going to come to you. See, first they tried to befriend you to betray you. Then they sat there and tried to belittle you, to get people to gang stalk you too. When they seen that they couldn't beat you, they tried to become you. When they realized that they was going to blow a fuse trying to be you because they not equipped to carry the same energy as you, what did they do? Now they trying to return back to you and see how your ass made it through. Oh, nah. You don't tell them Nathan, Nathaniel. Figure it out. They going to have to go to God like you did. They going to have to do for themselves. See, chosen ones, they starting to see they should have never played. See, when you was struggling, you not even realizing that God was preparing you to help another individual make it through. See, at that time, you ain't realized who you was going to run into. You ain't realized who was watching you. So God knew that you had certain protection that other individuals was lacking. So he had you make the first move in a sense so that they could then repeat that step right behind you. You that light, you that line leader. So again, like that teacher did, they selected you based upon your behavior then. They selected you because you listened. You always was heading in the right direction, right? Okay, cool. Excuse me again, chosen ones. Just know, hold on, babies. Hold on 1 second. Hold on, y'all. Hi, baby. 1 second, okay? I'm on here. I'm going to talk to you 1 second, okay? You all right? You are? Oh, you look beautiful. You're welcome. I like your hair. You're welcome. I'm going to be off here in a second, okay? If you see me, you can come back over, all right? All right. So I told you, I'm the neighborhood mother. I don't play by my babies. You heard me? That wasn't my baby specifically, but I'm the neighborhood mother. So I had to, so excuse me, chosen ones. But listen, I want you to realize, again, everything is playing out for you. You understand me? You a different built type of individual. Everything is divinely aligned for you. I want you to be positive. You understand me? Just know that everything is happening for a reason. Don't allow anybody to limit you. Don't give these people power thinking that what they sending to you is actually successfully working against you. It's not. You hear me? So I love you so much. I got to get up off here. I'm going to upload this live later on my YouTube. I apologize for I just uploaded 2 quick videos today, but my last 2 from the lives, we was how Shorty say, we having technical difficulties. That's what we was having. I was having some technical difficulties. So that shit was kind of like, all over the place. But just know I got you. I love you so much. Y'all continue to be great. If you need me, you know how to reach me. Please remember, the link is in my bio. If you want to read it, I'll never reach out to you. Only got 1 Instagram, 1 YouTube, and 1 TikTok. Those other accounts that's talking about they my backup pay, baby, that's not me. Don't let nobody play in your energy, all right? I'll never reach out to you because you got to be ready to receive that message. You understand me? That's it. So the link is in my bio. I do have readings available as low as $11.11, as well as coaching sessions of 30-minute and an hour sessions. So it's based upon you. If you rather speak to me on the phone and you can ask as many questions as you have, I would recommend doing a coaching session. But if you just want a message for a confirmation that you can replay, I'm going to tell you again, what God has me relate to you. So some of your messages could be based upon certain things that's about to happen to you. That's a warning. Certain things that you could be going through based upon your past, your present, your future. You understand it? Varies. But I love you so much, all right? Continue to be great. If you need me, baby, you know how to reach me. Be great.